Today, we're going to talk about the gift of imagination. So, one definition of the word imagination is the ability of the mind to be creative or resourceful. Another definition of the word imagination is the faculty or action of forming new ideas, images, or concepts of external objects not present to the senses, meaning we can't yet see it, we can't smell it, we can't hear it, we can't taste it, we can't even touch it yet. So, because it's external from our senses and it's something that hasn't happened yet, it's in our mind. Someone's and different ones' imaginations have played pivotal roles throughout our collective history to solve problems. Someone imagined us being able to fly together in one collective apparatus before we had planes, or to ride in a motorized vehicle before we had cars, or to speak to someone in a different room, in a different place, maybe in a different city or a different state before we had telephones. Someone imagined seeing people talk inside a box before we had television. Then there are those who use their imaginations to enhance, preserve, or save lives by solving problems. Like Charles Drew, who is the pioneer of blood plasma, or Garnett Morgan, an inventor. He invented the three light traffic signal. And these are Black men. Okay. These are Black men. I don't know if you guys do that. These are Black men. You should Google them up and look it up. Or Gladys West, the Black woman who developed, listen to this, global positioning system, GPS technology. Now, she invented it for somebody like me who get lost all the time. Okay. Thank you, Ms. West. As children, most of us used to imagine things all the time. We would get lost in our imagination, daydreaming of things that we did not see necessarily and did not understand completely. I remember as a child, I used to imagine building castles or mansions with many rooms. And then I would use our gold leaf encyclopedia volumes to make the various rooms. I would put furniture in them. I would use soap to make beds, the little bars of soap in the boxes, and towels would serve as the blankets. I mean, I went all out. I must have been, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10. Did it for years. Even then, I knew that imagining things was connected to building things. And I knew that both were important. But at some point, like many of us, I stopped imagining. I just did. I just did. And what happened throughout my career, I worked mostly in a rigid governmental like structure. A lot of things don't change quickly in the government. However, there were times I worked on task force or special projects. And one of my favorite parts of working on those task force or projects was when we as a team we were given a problem and we were asked to brainstorm creative ways to solve that problem. And that was one of my favorite things of being on task force or special projects, is just being able to let my imagination run wild to come up with solutions to problems. And that's why imagination is so important. We should never underestimate the value of our imagination to generate ideas that can solve problems, that can generate income. I get comments all the time from individuals who feel stuck in toxic workplaces because of the money. And I know all of us, we're not going to be famous for our ideas. In fact, how many of you knew that a Black woman created the information for GPS. Most of us did not, I don't think. I didn't know. But we may not get famous for using our imagination to solve problems, but you can come up with creative solutions that can help you to change the situation that you are in. You just need one idea, just one idea that can change the trajectory of your life. It can help you leave a situation that you do not want to be in. It can address a concern that needs to be fixed. So use your imagination. Write out some things about how you can change your life if that's something that you want to do. And it's okay. There are benefits to using your imagination. And I'll go over a few of them. There's many more. I'm just going to cover a few. It can help reduce your stress and improve your overall well being. So let's say you're in a less than ideal situation. We can use our imagination to help us to travel somewhere else. And I don't mean this is going to change the situation. What I mean is sometimes we're in a situation where we cannot leave, right? And I have talked about in prior videos how when they interviewed some of the survivors of the Nazi camps and asked them how they survived the atrocities that they faced, many of them said they imagined different things. They imagined a different future. They kept a positive attitude, and it helped them to survive the situation that they were in. Another benefit of using your imagination is it gives you a sense of clarity. So, how does it do that? Because what using our imagination does is it helps us to think about a future that has not already taken place. And it's not connected to our senses, so it doesn't have to be something that we feel, something that we taste or touch right now. We can imagine it. I think I read some studies where it said that the brain doesn't know the difference between what is really happening and what we think is happening. So I can see how it can give us some clarity and how it can reduce our stress. The other thing is it can help us see our situation or our circumstance from different perspectives. Sometimes when we're in it, we just see it just boom. But when we use our imagination, we're kind of like above the situation where we can look at it from different vantage points. We can look at it over here. And when we look at it over here, we may get a idea of how to change the circumstance. We may look at it over here. And then when we see it over here, we see another side of the situation or problem or whatever we are dealing with. And it may give us some additional ideas on how to solve that problem, change that situation, change our life. Another benefit of using your imagination is it builds confidence. Why? Because when we are able to solve a problem using our own imagination, it makes us feel like we can do things for ourselves. We can figure out problems. We can make decisions. Problem solving and decision making, they go hand in hand. So when we're solving a problem, that's something that is happening. And it's usually something that we're addressing after the fact. The confidence helps us to make good decisions. When we're making those decisions a lot of times, or you hear people say decision making skills. It's about addressing something that has not happened already. Okay. So that is a benefit of using your imagination. And some people call it dreaming. You can call it dreaming if that works better for you. I just used imagination for this video. So, how can you improve your imagination muscle? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because earlier I shared how most of us as children, we spent time imagining things and daydreaming, and we were kind of discouraged from doing that. So, some of us have not been in the habit of using our imagination muscle, if you will. So, one of the things that we can do to build that imagination muscle is to think of a problem that needs to be solved. Just think of one, maybe write it down somewhere. Then put some time on the calendar devoted to daydreaming or imagining solutions to that problem. You may decide to brainstorm for about 10 or 15 minutes. You may decide doing a brain dump. That is just writing down anything that comes to mind. You don't want to edit this. You don't want to correct this. You just want to think of anything that comes to mind and just write it down. Have a couple of sheets of paper, write it down. Some people choose to use their computer to type it out. I personally like writing things down. You may decide to use your phone, some of the note applications there, but just spend some time writing down some creative ideas to solve the problem that you have decided to tackle. The other thing is be creative. Write a poem, draw a picture, sing a song, get your dance on. You may say, Colette, what does that have to do with solving a problem? Well, sometimes you just need to take a break from solving the problem or even thinking about it. And sometimes you just need to get some stuff off your chest, out of your mind to clear space up so that you can be creative. So you may decide to do this before you do a brain jump. You may decide to do a brain dump for like 10 minutes, get up, get your dance on, write a poem, do something different or what have you, and then go back to doing the brain dump, the brainstorming, whatever you want to call it. So these things can help. The other thing you can do, and I do this, is you can keep ideas journal. I keep several. I have one by my bed. You can keep a small one in your purse, one in your car. You can keep one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom, and just write ideas down as they come. It's really, really funny because I might have a situation or a problem that I was thinking about, and it may have been like a week or so ago. And I can be somewhere and the idea will just come to me, an idea to that solution. Now, I'm a Christian. I believe the idea came from God. Bible says that he'll give you witty ideas and invention, and I do believe that. So I'm always prepared because I know for me, if I don't write it down, it may or may not be remembered later. Okay. So journals, and it don't have to be something fancy, maybe just a notebook or a notepad. Some people use sticky, some I have stickies all over the place. But I find that keeping my ideas in one section, it helps me and I go back to it later. And when you're doing or devoting the time to use your imagination to solve your problems, I encourage you to just disconnect from social media, disconnect from your devices, turn off the TV, turn off your laptop. That's kind of why I encourage people to write stuff down so that they're not on the laptop, so that you don't hear the notifications coming in or your email or whatever, and even not even using your phone because I don't know about you, but my phone got notifications going off, and I've learned to silence them, but I find myself looking at different text messages that may come through. So I'm a person that can't use my phone to take notes or to participate in an activity like this. So anyway, those are the things that can help you build your imagination muscle. I encourage you to just devote some time to just imagining some things, daydreaming about some things. And you don't even have to go into it trying to solve a problem. Sometimes when you are imagining things, a solution, like I said, to problems can just come up. You can write it down. So we had talked earlier in other videos that I am celebrating my birth month, January, and I wanted to give some gifts. This is another gift that I wanted to give to you today. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm to tell folks, hey, Colette is talking about some things you may be interested in over here. If you want more content like this, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload new videos. I'd love to hear your comments about this video. I do read the comments and I do respond. So just put your comments down in the comments field below and you may hear from me. If you have some ideas about future videos, you can also put those in the comments. I have created videos based on some of the comments that I have received. So until the next time, God bless. Keep that imagination going. Get your dream on. Talk soon.